Visuals is thrilled to showcase the discussion session of the Sip, Paint and Chat event of the World Environment Day 2026. The Earth is signaling us every day. What signal are we sending back to the Earth? Once again, we are very grateful for having you with us in this climate change edition of our Sip and Paint. We are already excited for the success of the painting session. Now we'll be taking some few minutes to look at some of the questions of our discussion session. So Omar, you're welcome. We really missed your presence during the painting session, but now we are glad to have you with us to anchor the discussion session. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Lara Suleiman. Like Mr. Williams said, you guys are experts in climate conversations, and so I'll throw the question open. So I'll go with number 4. How should individuals and communities respond to the signals the Earth is sending?
I can take that.
Okay.
We have our responsibilities. We are stewards here, and then we should be more deliberate. In the way we handle things, we handle the environment. We use some things, we throw them anyhow. We cut trees. We don't replant. We have been wicked to the environment. We should be more careful in the things we do, our day-to-day lives. That's just it.
Maybe someone will be asking, what are those signals we're talking about? What do we see happening in the environment that signals that the environment is sick? I think one very evident one, like in a community where I come from, the farming community and agrarian community, you discover that they don't get enough rain, and then their yields are very poor. And I know that they used to have 2 farming seasons. The early part, when rain starts in February or March, they grow those crops, harvest it fresh, eat it, then they go up for another round. That one will be for storage, they dry and stuff, but now it's not the case. Yes. Nobody can predict the rains anymore. So I think that's a signal that the environment or the earth is sick.
To these two is mentioned now, you can't predict maybe the weather or let's assume the rainy season, just like what happens this year. When we experience rainy season from April, but now it has even risen to between May and June. This when we are getting rain. So when you look at it, some of the signals, especially put it on farmers. When they are farming here, they want to open up a large farm. They start clearing all the bushes around. So from there, it allows the evaporation rate so high, and all the water catchment areas where it's supposed to be used by some of these ecosystems within, you see it's dried up, and it allows erosion to take place. And after that, everywhere, and people will be complaining, oh, the weather today is so hot, this and that. So these are some of the issues and the signals that we are talking about.
Yeah. I can meet reflection, dialogue, and actionable environmental awareness. So, as you painted today, what message are you sending back to the earth?
Just like we have the paint here, you see, this is a two-phase now. But here is an indication of drought. Some of the signals because of the activities of humans. So they misuse all the resources there. They cut trees just because they need charcoal and without planting. See the other side of it again. This one is green, and it shows that this place has been maintained and really people manage that very well. So this one is just like a picture, and it speaks louder than whatever you talk. If somebody says, you try to compare why this, in his own maybe understanding. So with these voids doing certain things, then definitely we continue to maintain a clean earth. things is environment, because when we're talking of environment, people think it's just to sweep the road, keep your environment clean, and that's not, without thinking deep into nature.
Yeah, we are sorry. Just brought back our attention that this is what we're doing to you. So I think painting or arts brings your attention. It calls us from wherever we are to say, wait, what's happening? You know, brings our attention back home to think of what we are doing to us and to ask questions. Why is this so? Imagine that children are the ones doing this. They'll be querying, why is this different from this and on the same earth? Then we begin to have answers to our questions.
So we are stewards of the environment, and we're going to give account of that which we have done. Thank you.
Sorry, can I just quickly say something pertaining this question? Like 2 weeks ago, someone was literally crying. There was flood everywhere. So the bike man was telling her, stop crying. Now they block the drainage. And then they showed a picture of when that particular gutter was littered with a lot of blockages and then all of those things. And then your customer was like, you go pay or you don't go pay. Done, are you sorry? You understand? If you cry too much, if you fall inside this water, everybody was just passing. It was going viral, and everybody was like, look, we are the problems of our environment because we don't even know how to properly throw away our litter or trash and then all of those things. I mean, so I don't know how is it affecting everybody individually? Because after I saw that picture, I do not throw away my bottles anyhow. I wasn't even throwing it anyhow, but then I was very conscious after I saw that video and then picture of the whole thing. So I don't know how concerned or how intentional are you when it comes to things like that.
Let me say I'm a champion of all these single-use bottles or whatsoever. When people use their bottles, all these, they throw it anyhow. We always talk to them. That's what even collapsed the wall around here. The whole blockage blocked the waterways. And just one evening, we were up when it rains, just a small rain, and it causes a lot of wahala. So these are some of the consequences of what people are doing. So this, you see this artwork, it will tell a lot to people.
Like Madam said, it brings you back. It makes you intentional about certain things. Okay, so I know art, but I've never seen it like this. And what it means for me is I'm going to be very cautious when I'm disposing things or when I'm maybe cutting out trees. I'm going to try to replant them. But this brings like a conscious setting to my mind to know that, look, we're damaging the environment and then we need to be very intentional about how to stop that. Okay, so any other thing? I mean, I think we'll done with the question.
I would like to add, how it affects me or others directly. You see, we say we're feeling hot, the heat is becoming unbearable. And I'm sorry to say that in the cities, it's worse off. In the villages, somehow they have trees, if not for the use of firewood. You see concrete buildings without plants. It makes the place hotter. Really very hot. So we need to be intentional about our microclimate. If only government will insist that when you build a house, there must be a number of trees around that environment. When I was trying to get a house in Abuja, I was intentional about a house that will have trees. I can't stay in a place where psychologically it affects me. I used to know Abuja in maybe 2003. There used to be a lot of plants. Rain will just fall quietly. But now sandstorm that I saw in Maiduguri, that's what I'm experiencing. Then yesterday I saw a video from Kebbi State. It was scary, like the end of the world. The sandstorm coming. The man was like, is this the end of the world or what? So that's what we're doing to ourselves. Killing ourselves you know, we don't have peace because our environment is sick.
Maya, would you want to add something else?
Well, I'd just like to say that I'm calling on every one of us, everywhere, to be more responsible and to be deliberate in keeping a good environment.
Okay, this brings us to a beautiful conclusion on our discussion on climate change. A big thanks to all our experts for urging us to signal back to the earth by doing the right thing to the environment. And big thanks to you, Lara Suleiman, for doing justice to this session. And to you out there, please let us all comply to the advice of the experts. Let us treat our environment well so that we can have a better and a safer future. Thank you so much. Watch out for our next episode on the climate discussion. Thank you very much.